Hello Stampers, Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach. Today I'm going to show you how PanPastels meet the Bokeh Technique. There's a lot of techniques in this card, but I'm just going to show you how to mainly focus on the Bokeh Technique. Alright, so let's get started. Let's start with our background, which is just our Denim Days paper. I'm going to bring in some of my grid paper so that I can work on there without getting it all over my work surface. Alright, so we're going to take our PanPastels, and today I'm going to be using the Pop Party PanPastels, and in here I'm going to be using the white, which goes with this set. I'm also going to be using the Beach Breeze and the Lemon Drop. So those are the three colors that I'm going to be focusing on today, and those are going to be for my background. I also brought in my inks that match these colors, which absolutely is awesome. Alright, so the first thing that I did was I took my thin metal dies and I used a piece of our clear window sheets here, and I just cut out some random circles, different sizes, and if you hop on over to my blog I'll give you the exact sizes of them. I probably should have done this. I used for another project, so I'm going to reuse it. I love using my templates over and over again, but I probably should have used a larger one, and you'll see why as I get going, but there's an easy fix to that, so I'm glad I didn't do that, so I can show you how to clean up your paper after you're done. So the first thing I'm going to do is to grab my washi tape, and I like to adhere everything down with washi tape so it doesn't move as you're working. And washi tape is great because it comes off so easy without ripping your paper. So I'm just going to put a piece up there and a piece down here to secure the cardstock, and then I'm also going to put a piece on my let's see, I'm going to put a piece on my window sheet here, my Clearview sheet, and secure that also. So let's just lay this, and I'm just randomly laying it anywhere. It doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't, there's no set pattern because this is such a random technique. Alright, so now everything is secured down, and now I'm going to grab my sponge. I am going to start with my white. I usually go lightest to darkest, so let's put those in the order that they're going to be. Alright, now when you're using PanPastels, you're not going to scrape it along. You just want to touch the surface. That loads up your sponge, and it doesn't make a lot of dust. These are low dust pastels, so there's not a lot of mess to them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to lightly spread on, sponge on I should say, my PanPastels. And it's this easy and this fast. Now, I will tell you that I do use a fixative. Whoops, I need to move that piece right there because I put my, and you don't want that piece showing. So I'll just move this piece over to here. Alright, so go back and just blend that in. Look at how easy these blend. I love, 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 love these. Alright, so there's the first one. Here's the second one. Like I said, it's just an easy fix. And you'll notice that I'm going from the outside in. I don't want a whole lot of excess pastel. And as a matter of fact, you don't want a whole lot on your sponge. So you'll notice that I'm not reloading this because there's so much on this. They just go a long way. So, you know, the price is a little bit of a high ticket price item, but you will have these forever. You see how long or how far they go? Alright, so I have my white done. I'm going to take and I'm going to move my window sheet here. Alright, this is just one of our Clearview sheets, and I'm just going to kind of move it. Maybe I'll even turn it going this way. Let's see. Alright, because what I'm doing is putting my circles in different spots. I like to overlap them. I just think they look great overlapped. I think it gives it a little bit more character. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to take my sponge and I'm going to load it up with some yellow. So this is my Lemon Drop, and I'm just going to take and do the exact same thing. I'm just going to take it from the inside out and load it on. Now where I'm overlapping the colors, remember you can do this with ink also. You know, this Bokeh technique, you can also do it with your ink and sponges, but I'm going to tell you right now that this Bokeh technique and PanPastels work its way together so nicely. Look at how they blend. That's the beauty of pastels. They just blend together so nicely. I'm going to grab a little bit more. And again, I'm going from the outside in. All right. Beautiful. Okay, this one's a big one, so I'm going to load up my pastel. Oh, I did it again. Here we go. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Get it off your paper. Beauty of washi tape. It looks pretty on cards, but it also works as a tool in our craft. Alrighty, so there's my lemon drop. Now you can make this brighter by just adding layers and layers and layers of color. But with the bokeh technique, you like that, oh, what do you call it? Just like a, not a muted look, it's just a blurry look. Okay, that's the terminology that they use in when you're taking pictures. So a photographer, all right, the bokeh technique. All right, and now I'm just going to add, I'm going to turn this around because I don't want the big one down here again. I'm going to take and put the big one, let's go this way. All right, so that means I got to move this again. And I'm just going to go off to the side like this. All right, let's try that. Put some washi tape down here. We've got our washi tape up there. And now I'm going to go in with the Beach Breeze. All right, and my big color will be right here. You can do individual circles too. You don't have to do them all on the same sheet. This was another card that I had done with these circles, so I just decided to use it again, and it works well for this. You see how I'm blending in those colors right there? Again, the blurriness is part of the technique of bokeh. All right, and then I'm just gonna, and you do want to overlap them. Alrighty, and this will be our last one, and then we're done with our bokeh technique. So let's take a look and see how this came out. Beautiful. Now, the reason I wanted to show you that I was glad that I used the smaller of the two is because I do have a few little smudge spots. So what I'm going to do is take my artist eraser, and you can also use a white eraser. They both work really well. To clean one of these, you just keep pushing and pulling, and now I have a nice clean eraser. These are just old school, okay? I used these when I was in high school, when I used to do art in high school, and I loved them. You see how that cleans up so nicely? This is where I went off of the Clearview sheet, and look at how beautiful that is. So sometimes making mistakes, which isn't really a mistake, but just a cleanup here, right here, is good, because then I got to show you how to use this and to clean it up. Now the next thing that I do, and not everybody suggests this, but I do like to use a fixative. And I don't use anything that is, I just use hairspray. I just literally use hairspray, and I just used unscented hairspray, and I use it in a pump bottle, so it's not an aerosol bottle, and it just works. It works really well. So let me just grab a piece of my washi tape again, because this will curl when you spray it, but it does lay down flat when you let it dry. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly put a piece of washi tape on either end, either side here, one there and one here, and I'm just going to spray it, and you're going to see, I'm going to do it right on camera so that you can actually see how easy this is. And don't worry, it doesn't run. This will lay down flat, so I'm not going to do anything to change it. You see how everything is curling? It will lay down flat. It will tell you when it's dry. I'm going to pull this off to the side, because while that is drying, I'm going to be working on my cupcake right here. So let me grab this out of the way and grab my cupcake pieces. I did pre-stamp, and I embossed it, and then I did color it, because I know you know how to color and you don't always have to watch me color. But I did want to show you a couple of different things that are little tips on my part. All right, so when I do my candles, and let me just show you, whenever I do anything small like this, rather than using a small block Okay, instead of using a small block, you know, that would fit it, I always use a long block like this. And let me show you why. Again, I just love to show you some of my tips. I hope they help. You can email me and let me know if they do or not. But when you use a long block like this, it gives you more leverage. You're not pushing down on it. So what I do is I literally start at an angle and then I just stamp and roll. I know you're not supposed to roll, but I do. All right, so that's why I use the long block on something like this. It just works so much better. So let me just show you one more thing on how to do the faux shaving cream technique. We've done this before, but I just love to show this time and time again. So let me grab my Denim Days and my lemon drop. Now what I'm going to use for a background on to make the swirls on this, here's the back of my actual cupcake top, and then I'm going to use just any stamp, any at all, and it's usually a solid stamp. So I'm just using this one from Color Lines, and I just took one of the scribbles. All right, so that's going to be in my lemon drop right here. So I'm going to have that ready, and then I'm going to take my Denim Days. I'm going to ink up the back of my Denim Days onto the cupcake top. All right, and what I don't want it dark, so I'm going to stamp it off really quick onto my scrap paper. So I stamped it off. You'll see that there is still ink on there, but the important part of this one is I inked up my lemon drop with the background, and now what I'm going to do is just swirl it into, and you can do it as many times as you want. Now what this does is it adds the yellow to it, but it also takes off some of the blue. You see? And you can do it as much or as little as you want. It really doesn't matter. It's just to give you that swirly, swirly look. So now what I'm going to do is just take my scissors and quickly cut it out so that we can put our card together. And I have, remember when you're cutting, I always tell you to turn your paper instead of your scissors, and your lines come out much smoother. So watch what I mean by this. My scissors are stationary. I am actually turning the cardstock to get around the curves. And what that does is it just helps you manipulate the corners, and it comes out perfectly without any of the rough edges. I want you to give that a try because it really does work nicely. So now I have all of my pieces colored and cut, and we're going to just assemble our card. As you can see, it's still drying. It's doing beautiful. It's starting to lay down. Remember how everything was curled, but it does dry fast because remember, you're just using your hairspray and it dries fast. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put this together. So I'm going to grab some of my mini glue dots. Let me just put the top on my lemon drop ink here and put it off to the side. I'm going to grab some of my mini glue dots. I love how they're on these little tiny pieces because then I can manipulate them any way that I want. Now I'm going to take and put the glue dot on the back here and just start putting it onto, you see how it hangs over just a little bit? That's a good thing, and you'll see why, because now I have some glue onto my cupcake bottom, and it's going to help me glue my top on. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to put it on the back. It's going to hang over, and I just love having my mini glue dots on those little pieces. Now these are just whimsical. This is just, see, it's very sticky. This is just a very whimsical stamp set. So we're just going to whimsically place our, we're going to whimsically place our candles around. All right, and then I'm going to take one more mini glue dot and put it on the back of this where there is no glue dots for my, and then we're just going to add it to the cupcake top. And that is our little cupcake. Now on this one I did add some of our silver, well, I think I will add a few more on here. Hold on. Let me see, we'll add one to the side. There we go. One there and one there. We don't want it to flop around. There's nothing like cupcake frosting flying all over. Okay? And there we go. Much better. Much, much better. Okay, so I did add some Journey glaze to this, and I'll show you how I do that at the very end. And now I think we're pretty much, it might still be a little bit wet, it's still a little bit cool, so I might have trouble adding it to my card, but I want to finish this up. So, see how flat it laid? After it dries, it's really, really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting my card base together. So I want to take this, and remember, it's not going to get all over anything because there is a fixative on there. I'm going to take my Easy Glide, and because this is wet, I'm going to add more adhesive than I normally would, but I want to get it close to the ends. So that. This Easy Glide is the best. There's no boogers that are left over. If you accidentally go off the side, all you do is roll it back on again. I'm just going to put some down here in the middle too. All right, and then I'm going to add, well, first of all, before we do that, because I've got this big hole, remember I always save paper, so I cut out the middle and I'm using that for something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Easy Glide again and just put this on the corners. Okay. Let me just show you what I meant earlier. When you have other adhesives, if they go off the side, they're like boogered everywhere. But with these, if you accidentally go off the side, you just roll them back on. Pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm just going to add this to the back. I like to get it nice and straight right on the get-go. All right, and then this is the one with all the adhesives on here. I'm just going to add this to the bottom, or to the top, I should say, and we're almost done. All right, so there's that. See, it's almost dry. Now I do want to add my happy birthday. I'm going to do that with whipped cream, and we're going to do that right down to the bottom. And I'm going to go right over my pan pastels. There's so many little techniques and tips in this card. I love, 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 love this. I did it for a challenge, and I just absolutely love the way it came out. So there's that. And then on the back of this, and I colored all of this with our re-inkers and our True Fusion, with our Fusion blender, and I think it came out really nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and add 2 Journey foam squares, one here on the top, one here on the bottom, and then our card will be done. Isn't that adorable? The Bokeh technique, the shaving cream technique. I mean, you've got some big time stuff going on in this card right here. I absolutely love it. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Please leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. You take care, have a great day, and happy birthday!